Hi, Mike here from MikeOverlanding. In this video, I'm going to go over a 2-year review of my 2020 Jeep Gladiator Rubicon. I'm also going to talk about some suggested improvements. My intent of this video is to answer questions that I've received over the years and try to highlight the questions that most people ask about the Jeep. And again, finally, the last thing I'm going to do is go over, I think, 7 items that I think they could do to improve the Jeep Gladiator. Because you choose to watch this video, I think there's a couple other videos I prepared that you may find useful. About 2 years ago, when I first purchased this Jeep, I put out a video called The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and I'll also have another one, Unnecessary Options. So check out my YouTube channel for those. Some background and where I have taken the Jeep. The Gladiator has about 34,000 miles on it, and I have owned it for exactly 2 years. It is my daily drive in Minnesota, where temperatures range from over 100 degrees Fahrenheit and humid in the summer to 30 degrees below zero in the winter. I have been to an off-road park in Appleton, Minnesota, and I've got a video on that. I've been from Minnesota to Dillon, Colorado in the Rockies, where we drove up a 14,000 foot mountain. There's a video titled Mountain Climbing in a Jeep Gladiator. And I've been to Wyoming at a cattle ranch where we did some prairie dog hunting. And there's a video. And there's some rattlesnake encounters. And there's some other videos. I've been from Minnesota to Moab, Utah, where I was in the high desert, did some camping. I got some off-road Moab videos. I have Moab off-roading, dispersed camping, Canyonlands National Park, Arches National Park, and I've gone from Minnesota to Florida and back. First of all, some general comments to questions I have been asked or seen others address. Gas mileage. Frankly, I get about 13 miles per gallon city and somewhere in the 17 miles per gallon in the highway. Jeep says you get 17 city and 22 highway. No surprise there that it isn't actually what I really get. Acceleration is another question. I have had no issues with acceleration. It has a 3.6 liter, 285 horsepower V6 engine, and it handles wonderfully in acceleration. I've never had an issue where I felt like it didn't have enough get up and go. How does it handle when fully loaded? I've got a rooftop tent, an awning, refrigerator, battery. I got all kinds of gear, people in here, and I've never had an issue. Again, I've climbed up mountains with it, and it has been wonderful. Another question is about towing. And I, again, have never had an issue with towing. Now, I've not towed a heavy boat or anything like that, but there's a picture here. I've towed a big heavy trailer with furniture in it for my kids, moving them around, and the Jeep was loaded with either people or stuff. The bed was loaded, and I have never had an issue towing it. Another question that comes up is road and wind noise. Yes, it's noisier than cars. It is a Jeep, it's a truck, and it does make a little bit more noise. Now, the tires I have on here are stock. They're 33-inch all-terrain tires. They're not the mud tires, which are louder, but you do hear a little bit more, but it's not an issue. I mean, you're buying a truck that's great for off-road, so you're going to get a little bit more noise. Another question I've gotten is, does the roof leak? And I've had the top off, and I've had the doors off many times back and forth, and it has never, ever leaked. I go through car washes where they're blowing stuff at you at high pressure. It has never leaked. Next question is comfort. It's plenty comfortable, especially for the front 2 passengers. It's not a luxury vehicle. Again, it's a truck. In the back seat, if you're an adult, you probably don't want to go on a long trip, but otherwise, it's plenty comfortable. Navigation and controls. The navigation and controls are easy to reach. I love them. It did take a while to get used to the windows, which I think is really a good idea. You open and close all the windows from the console versus having the controls on individual doors. So it takes a little bit to get used to, because at first you're reaching for the door and it's not there. The reason they do that is because the doors come off. Another issue is the windshield. This windshield is not angled like cars are, I guess for better gas mileage. It is more upright, so you do get rocks hitting it. And I've had to replace the windshield in my Wrangler. I've had this again 2 years and I've never had to replace it, but I did get a rock that kicked up and put a little chip in it, and I was able to I got full glass coverage, so I was able to get that repaired. You can hardly tell it was there. It doesn't bother me at all, but the windshield is an issue, and every time I've gotten it, it's been on the highway. Some car kicked up a stone and hit it and put a little chip or crack in it. One of the questions I received over the years is, do the headlights area here fill up with snow? And I answered, no, I've never had that issue. And I bought this in January through winter, so I've had it through a winter when the question was asked, but it has happened once. I was coming back through the Rockies from Moab to Minnesota, and there was a snowstorm, and I was ahead of it, and then it would catch me up and pass, and then I would get ahead of it and pass, and finally I had to stop for gas. And when I did, I noticed that these were full of snow, both of them. And it was daylight, so I didn't really notice it while driving that I couldn't see anything. So I cleaned them out, but again, that has happened just once. So that did happen just once, and again, I live in Minnesota. That's never happened here, just once. As far as off-road handling goes, as you see from my videos, I've been to the Rocky Mountains, up a 14,000 foot mountain, Wyoming. I've been to an off-road park. I have never had any issues off-road. Now, it's not a Wrangler, but it is quite awesome. The breakover angle and the departure angle are probably the two things that limit to how much off-roading that you can do with it. And of course, if you get bigger tires, which you can get, that'll help you as well. As far as repairs go, have I had any repairs in 2 years? No, everything has worked terrific. Oil changes and tire rotation is all I've ever had to do. One of the things I really love about the Jeep is the peace of mind. I can drive this in all kinds of conditions. I've rescued relatives and children whose batteries have gone dead in the middle of a blizzard. I feel I can get out in almost anything with this, so it gives me a lot of peace of mind. Another thing I want to point out about the Jeep is this is an unbelievable conversation piece. People I don't know come up to me all the time and want to talk about the Jeep, and it's pretty cool. They love it. They love the way it looks. I've been followed into Home Depot before, or I'm in an aisle and some guy come to me, I really like your Jeep, and he must have recognized me walking from the parking lot in there, at car washes, at drive-ups. I find notes on my Jeep. I even got this little ducky thing, I'll probably show you a picture of that, left on my Jeep saying, we really like your Jeep. It gets a lot of attention, let me tell you. Now I'm going to go over the 7 things that I think could be improved. One is the gas tank size. The fuel tank capacity of 22 gallons is not enough for a 14 to 17 miles per hour vehicle. It just doesn't cut it. I've been on a long trip with friends, and granted they were in diesel powered pickup trucks, but I'm the guy that's always getting on the radio saying, can we pull over and get gas? Can we pull over and get gas? Now again, it's not a fair comparison, but still, I often have to stop for gas. I think a 22 gallon tank isn't enough. I know that there's aftermarket tanks you can buy, but I think Jeep should offer a bigger gas tank. When I'm going off-road, I don't necessarily need these. Well, I'd probably bring them anyway, but it'd be nice to know that I've got much more gas. I can go farther off-road, and gives me more peace of mind. Jeep needs to have a better auxiliary battery. The Gladiator comes with 2 batteries, your standard battery that starts the Jeep and keeps it running. But when you come to a stoplight, you depress the brake pedal, the Jeep engine will stop. And I think it's to try to save gas mileage and improve the fuel efficiency. However, there are so many times where I'll be sitting at a stoplight and the Jeep will turn off, which is fine. It bothers some people, it doesn't bother me. And halfway through the light hasn't even turned green again, and the Jeep automatically starts. So that auxiliary battery does not have enough to keep everything running to last the length of a traffic light. So I think what they should do is offer the option where they have dual batteries. I know you can get aftermarket kits where you can put dual batteries on, but that would be nice if they would offer that. I've heard people talking about one of the reasons they don't install the aftermarket battery is because they're worried about ruining the warranty on it. So I don't know if that's true or not, but you do need to know what you're doing when you're installing an auxiliary battery. And you use the auxiliary battery for all the stuff when you go overlanding, when you're camping and such. So it would save, I've got a Goal Zero battery that I bring with me, which is a wonderful battery. I should do a video on that. Now the auto stop start button, I mentioned that when I talked about the auxiliary battery, but there's a button in the Jeep, and I'll show a picture here. This is the auto start stop button right here, and if you push it once it's started, it deactivates it, and if you push the button again, it reactivates it. So every time you start the car, this auto stop feature is engaged. And here is my dash cam, where you push the button, and once you start the car, you push the button, it'll turn off the auto stop start. And you have to do that every single time you get in the Jeep if you don't like that button. Again, that button doesn't bother me that it stops until I bought a dash cam. And when I have a dash cam and I have it plugged in the 12-volt adapter, fine. But I wanted to hardwire it so it didn't have that hanging there all the time. So I had it hardwired to the auxiliary ports, and every time I came to a stoplight and I pushed my foot on the brake and come to complete stop, the engine will go off, no problem, but also turns the camera off. And so I want to have that camera going. The reason I have it is oftentimes it's intersections where you're going to see an accident or be part of an accident. So I wish they would find a way to make it so that the auto start mechanism doesn't turn off your auxiliary items that you may want to have on there. Jeep should make a locking hood. Right now, to get in the hood, you simply pop this. There's one on the other side. You reach in here, and you have access to everything. Oftentimes, you're parked and you're out hiking or you're out in the woods. Anybody can come up and take your battery or mess with your car. I don't understand why they don't have a mechanism inside the Jeep that you pull, you do something to unlock it. So they need to have a way to lock the hood up. I know you can buy aftermarket stuff to lock it, but Jeep should do it. Jeep should make a standard option is a locking gas cap. A gas cap that from inside the Jeep, you pull a lever, you do something, and it unlocks the gas cap. Once again, anybody can tamper with this. They can put something in there they shouldn't. They can take your gas out. I don't know. I know you can buy aftermarket locking gas caps, but making it an option or make it a standard. Jeep has a bed light that doesn't stay on. There's no way to keep the bed light on. So if you're out camping or it's in the dark, you're pulling stuff out, maybe you're loading, unloading, it stays on for like 30, 60 seconds. I have that in, I think, the good, the bad, and the ugly, so you want to see more about that, but you really need to have it so that these lights, you can turn them on from inside and they stay on. And I also have a video on my tonneau cover if you want to look at that. It's metal, you can lay on it, you can put stuff on it, and keeps all your stuff secure. The other thing that I think they could improve on is finding a way to prevent debris getting the side of the Jeep. Now, I've gone through the car wash on this, but in the winter, this whole side, or if I go through mud, is just filthy. More importantly is rocks get kicked up. Now, I haven't been to a lot of places. I've been quite a few, but not a lot. But I've already got a chip right here. and there are in other places where the paint has chipped. Now, thank goodness this is aluminum, so it won't rust, but I don't know if there's a way to put a mud flap in the front only. I was thinking of doing that, but I was afraid that when I do go over something, and a rock comes up and hits it, and it just rips it off, and I got more of a problem than anything. So I haven't done that, but you do get debris, you get chipping, you get rocks coming up here, and then I purposely purchased the plastic fenders. And the reason I did that was, and you probably can't see it here, but there's all kinds of little chips in here. And of course it's got salt white on here right now, but there's all these little, and I don't care, it doesn't bother me. But it's the reason why I did not get the painted version, and that's why I went with the plastic, because I knew that that would happen, and sure enough it does. So if they can come up with a way, I know it's a Jeep, it's narrow, it's meant to go off-road, and it's great for that, but is there also a way to prevent all this from happening? So I'd like to see improvement there. So, and my conclusion to this video is that I tried to hit on all the major questions people have, as well as to be honest about what I think could be improved. The Gladiator still puts a smile on my face every time I drive it. It's a lot of fun, it's very practical, and I have no regrets. So be sure to check out MikeOverlanding for more videos, and please subscribe and like this channel, and thanks for watching. I hope this was useful to you.